privilege to call yourself and it's something that you have to earn.
People who knew Tom before he was fully brainwashed say that he was a sweet and loving person, and he's turned into something.
Jada were 100% Scientologists, period. I have a lawsuit against Jada, and I'm in court right now for the civil restraining order, and I mentioned the Church of Scientology in that for the man. Somebody put a dead dog in a trash bag.
I've heard the stories of what happens, and I've seen these kinds of someone to constantly walk behind you and say, you're insane.
For years, people online have questioned how certain celebrities seem to maintain a youthful appearance far beyond normal expectations, leading to countless rumors about hidden treatments and secretive wellness practices inside Hollywood. Around the same time, discussions also grew about the alleged influence of Church of Scientology within the entertainment industry, especially claims that the organization focused heavily on recruiting wealthy and influential black entertainers. One name frequently tied to these conversations was Dave Chappelle after he famously walked away from a massive television deal and temporarily relocated to Africa. Online theories later claimed powerful people in Hollywood attempted to pressure him into returning or discredit his behavior publicly. When Chappelle eventually spoke about the situation during an interview with Oprah Winfrey, he described feeling like others were trying to portray him as mentally unstable after his sudden departure from the spotlight.
I had a schedule, and I bounced, and I didn't tell anybody where I was going. The whole time, they're trying to convince me I'm insane. They were trying to get me to take psychotic medication. Yeah. Like I'm sitting around, I was stressed out, but the people that were telling me I was insane, I believe that they knew what was going on. So this was troublesome.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not taking this medicine, man, because I know these people be trying to control you or maybe discredit you. I was afraid,
But you were stressed out. That's
there's
why.
no question. But it's very stressful for someone to constantly walk behind you.
Dave Chappelle also claimed that after refusing medication, he felt certain people continued applying psychological pressure in ways he believed were intended to destabilize him mentally. According to Chappelle, those experiences added to his growing discomfort with the environment surrounding him during that period of his career.
I showed up to work the first week, and where my office used to be, they built a wall there.
Why?
I didn't know why. But it came out later that they were like, well, they said you wanted it. I don't want to be walled up at the office.
A lot of online discussions connected those claims from Dave Chappelle to long-standing controversy surrounding Church of Scientology and its former fair game policy introduced by founder L. Ron Hubbard during the 1960s. Critics have often pointed to policy as evidence of the organization's aggressive response toward perceived opponents, since Hubbard's writings describe tactics involving pressure, deception, lawsuits, and efforts to discredit individuals considered enemies of Scientology.
If you are deemed an enemy of the Church of Scientology, they are going to use any mean possible to come after you. And it's just nasty stuff.
What do they call that again? They have a word for it.
Fair game.
Fair game. And can you explain what that is?
Fair game is, like I said, it was the actual written policy of anybody who's been deemed an enemy of the Church of Scientology. You use any tactics possible to come after them. They are fair game.
Wow. It's like the cops too. I mean, you've chatted about the LAPD.
Not long ago, the Hollywood Division police station on Wilcox, they used to have a Scientology kiosk inside of there.
Wow, really?
And there are Hollywood cops who are in the Church of Scientology.
Although Church of Scientology officially stated that the fair game term was discontinued decades ago, former members and critics have continued claiming the underlying tactics still exist under different forms. Some whistleblowers allege the organization continued using aggressive methods against critics, including reputation attacks and investigations aimed at intimidating people who publicly spoke out. One tactic often discussed is a so-called noisy investigation, where investigators allegedly contact friends, co-workers, and associate a targeted person in ways designed to create suspicion and social pressure. Critics claim similar strategies have been used against journalists and ex-members over the years. These allegations also fuel broader theories about Hollywood influence, since Scientology has maintained strong entertainment industry ties through its celebrity programs and famous members like Tom Cruise. Some online personalities, including Big Homie CC, have even claimed certain industry fixers learn manipulation or blackmail-style tactics through connections linked to Scientology circles, though those claims remain unverified.
About them accusing Diddy of having cameras in his house so he can record celebrities and politicians and use it as blackmail.
I firmly believe that's true because in that sector of people, a lot of them practice Scientology. And Scientology, that was their thing. They would get people in compromising positions. They'll hold that footage over their head and get them to agree to things. I think he one of them Scientology people, bro, because that's probably where he got that from. A lot of powerful guys operate like that. So the things I'm seeing with him, it all.
Jaguar Wright later added to those online discussions by claiming there were deeper links between Church of Scientology and influential figures inside Hollywood. According to Wright, certain entertainment industry circles allegedly operate through tightly connected networks involving power, influence, and secrecy, though many of these accusations remain controversial and unproven.
As Leah Remini, she's a little more credible. But then again, she might have been able to pull some of their cards because a lot of them motherfuckers is involved in that Scientology bullshit too. Right into the corner where Biggie was killed. I was just there. Literally. And that building, it's this big, gaudy, Masonic looking thing. You know, it's all right, architecturally wise. But what gets really interesting about it is when the sun goes down, they turn the lights on, blood red, pure blood red. The whole building glows in pure blood red. I don't know, man. It just feels disturbing to me. You put this thing up that looks like some kind of Masonic monument where Biggie Smalls was shot to death. And at night, you thought that the color should be blood red.
You spoke about Scientology.
Yeah.
Does that have to do with anything with the Illuminati, or is that just separate entity?
They're separate entities, but they work in tandem.
Right.
They spy on each other's people for each other.
Right.
You know, if they don't want to make it look like they're stalking one of their, defectees, they'll ask somebody from TMZ to do it for them. Oops, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that out loud. Allegedly, Harvey. They farm it out, make it seem like it's just paparazzi stuff when they're actually doing investigation. And Scientologists, they're relentless. A lot of people farm out their gaslighting work to them for a profit. That's
Supporters of these theories often point to Dave Chappelle walking away from a massive contract as an example of someone resisting pressure from powerful entertainment circles. According to those claims, public figures who reject certain expectations can allegedly face campaigns aimed at isolating or discrediting them, though there is no verified evidence connecting those experiences directly to organized Hollywood groups. At the same time, critics have frequently highlighted what they see as contradictions within Church of Scientology's public messaging. The organization has long opposed psychiatry and psychiatric medication, even operating the psychiatry, an industry of death exhibit in Los Angeles. Famous members like Tom Cruise have publicly criticized antidepressants in the past, including his highly discussed comments directed toward Brooke Shields regarding postpartum depression treatment.
You don't know the history of psychiatry. I do. All it does is mask the problem, Matt. And if you understand the history of it, it masks the problem. That's what it does. That's all it does. You're not getting to the reason why. There is no such thing as a chemical imbalance.
So postpartum depression to you is
Matt,
kind of a little psychological gobbledygook?
No, I did not say that.
I'm just asking what would you call it?
Matt, that is that post. Now you're talking about two different things.
But that's what she went on the antidepressant for.
But what happens, the antidepressant, all it does is mask the problem. There's ways of vitamins and through exercise and various things. I'm not saying that is.
Many critics argued that Tom Cruise's past comments about antidepressants were dangerous because postpartum depression is a serious medical condition that can require professional treatment. His remarks toward Brooke Shields sparked major backlash at the time, especially since millions of mothers struggle with postpartum mental health challenges. Online discussions later connected those controversies back to claims made by Dave Chappelle, who said people around him allegedly pushed psychiatric medication during a stressful period in his career. Critics of Church of Scientology have pointed to that as a contradiction, arguing that despite the group's public opposition to psychiatry, medication may still allegedly be encouraged in situations where it benefits public image or control. Those accusations, however, remain unproven. The conversation then shifts into celebrity aging rumors involving figures like Tom Cruise, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Beyoncé, with online speculation claiming Hollywood elites may have access to exclusive wellness treatments or experimental anti-aging methods. Some internet theories even compare those rumors to themes shown in the Substance starring Demi Moore, though there is no verified evidence supporting claims of secret anti-aging substances connected to Scientology or celebrities.
Substance is real. How do you explain that Lindsay Lohan looked like this before and now she transformed into this? What do you say about Madonna? She completely became a different person. Christina Aguilera exploded the news. And what do you say about Adele? It speaks for itself.
This doctor over here reveals what the substance is, so please listen very carefully before they delete this video.
Most people, especially young people, probably don't realize that they're walking around right now at about 55%, maybe 60% of their true state of normal. There is a nutrient, amino acid, a substrate, a compound, an element missing from their body that if they knew what it was, would make the difference between them being an average person and...
Many online theories about Church of Scientology focus on the organization's secrecy, wealth, and close relationships with major celebrities. Critics often speculate that high-profile members receive exclusive treatment and protection behind the scenes, though many of those claims remain based on rumors rather than verified evidence. Those discussions intensified after comments from Sandra Bullock about cosmetic procedures and skincare treatments sparked conspiracy theories online. While Bullock has never publicly identified as a Scientologist, rumors circulated years ago claiming the organization allegedly hoped to recruit her into circles connected to Tom Cruise.